What's up, everybody? This is Mike at FABS, and it's Saturday, and I'm here with Reno and David. They're helping me out on a Saturday to get some things done, and Gary and I are trying to get a few videos knocked out. So Melissa was in here doing some quality control, and that's something we touch on in meetings regularly, don't we, David? So I thought this would be something good to make a video on. I can't recall us making one in depth on it, but anyway, it's real simple, like everything in a granite shop. Nothing's rocket science, but you know, it does take a little bit of I don't know, giving a damn. So if you just give a damn and do what you're supposed to do, you'll be all right. So I'm sure there's people that have other ways of doing it, and hell, all the fancy people probably got a damn quality control robot that comes over here and looks over their shit, but we don't. So first thing we're going to do is, and in my opinion, this should be, most of this stuff should be done like 3 times by like 3 different people. So the first thing you're going to do, the saw guy should do it as well, the polisher should do it when he gets it, is check the template to the top. So you come and get your hard templates. That's something with the laser templating that some people do with the CNCs. How the hell are they checking the template to the top? You know, I don't know. Maybe there's a way that I just don't know, but I'd prefer to have a hard template to check to my top and to check to my cabinets on a job site, and to do a dry run through like doorways and turns to make sure it's going to fit. I don't know how they do that with the laser, but anyway. So you want to check this template to your top. Make sure it fits. On any hard template, there should be X's, there should be a lot of writing that kind of tells you everything about the job. So bows and walls, things like that. So a lot of times this template material we get have a little bit of bend in it. So sometimes we just got to go corner to corner. We can't stress too much about a little bit of bend in it. If worst case scenario, we have to cut the wall, put the stone in it, or we'll have a little gap which backsplash will go over and cover. But so looks to me like this stone or this template fits this top pretty good. We do have a little bit of stone here, but this template material is kind of bowed a little bit. We got backsplash, so I think it will, what we'll do is we will mark this right here. Because it's probably a big old bow in the wall. If it's got a little bit of a bow like that, it's not a big deal. But it looks like Melissa purposely put this template material at an angle to allow for the bow in the wall. So we'll cut this bow in the wall out, and it should fit the wall pretty good. So we also got 3-inch backsplash here, so that's going to tell us we're going to need to go over there and look and make sure we got backsplash for this job, okay? So this tells us we got a 10-inch overhang. So we like to polish, smooth out the bottom where we got an overhang like that, but this is a huge top. So what we'll probably do is load it on the A-frame, and once it gets loaded, we'll leave the backside exposed. That way we can hit it with the stone a little bit. So it says flat polish here. We want to check and make sure we got a flat polish on this side, which we do. We got the center for the sink here, so it tells us we got a sink cut out in this top. So we got a sink cut out. Undermount 50-50 sink. I want to make sure it's a 50-50 sink. We can check it to the template or whatever. I can tell by looking at it, it's a 50-50 sink, so we're good to go. A lot of times we'll have faucet specs here. We do not have any faucet spec here, so I will always drill 1 hole. Every sink gets at least 1 hole. So I'll go ahead and mark it here for my hole. And we'll drill that before we load it up there. IR means inside radius. This SP, my saw guy marks it so that he stops the cut so that we can put the inside radius in here so it's smooth and not a sharp radius. A lot of times the customer won't know the edge and the sink and all that. That's why it's got question marks and then it's written in ink pen. It says edge profile right here, it's got a question mark, but then in ink it's got pencil, so we just make sure it's got a pencil around. You know, if it had an OG or something on there, that would be a problem. We got X's, that tells us it needs to be polished, everywhere those X's are, with the profile. If it was just flat polish, it'd say flat polish, but X's mean the pencil round. So we'll check it and make sure. 3/4, that means it gets a 3/4 radius right here. So we'll check it and make sure it's got a 3/4 radius. Back here it says 4. We'll just make sure we got a 4-inch radius. We do. The job name, 2 of 2. That means there's this one. And then there's one more, which would be 1 of 2, which is sitting right over there, completed. Still needs to be quality control. So, and the color, Lunar Pearl, and this is Lunar Pearl. So, now we went through the template. Like I said, the saw guy should have laid this out and cut it. When the polisher got it, he should have laid this on here, checked it, polished it, which it looks like he did. Then after that, what the polisher should do is go through. It's real easy for the polisher, it's wet because we polish wet, to go ahead and spray it off and take a squeegee, dry the edges, make sure they look good and all that, and do what I'm getting ready to do right now. So we're going to clean this top off. Just a rough clean, alright. And everything that has been done that doesn't need to be touched base on, we can go ahead and kind of clean it off. So we got our flat polish here, so we know it's already on there. We use denatured alcohol in our bottles, lacquer thinner. Also, if we have a leather top, we need to get the marks off with, but this one here, on denatured alcohol is fine. We can just take a razor, wipe that off. We can take these X's off. When you're wiping stuff down, you can feel if there's any holes, any scratches, or anything like that. Inner line from sink can come off. Sometimes you'll have white spots left behind. You can go back in with the lacquer thinner or the steel wool and the lacquer thinner. Alright, I can feel right here that they have filled it with some epoxy. So, also, if you look, I don't know who polished this sink, but we've got an issue. This is what you're looking for in the quality control. You see how that line there's about an 1/8 inch, then it kind of jumps down and looks like a reverse mountain, and you can rub your hand and feel it. It looks like dog's ass. So you can write a little arrow there and write dog's ass on it, and that'll let your people know you need to fix that because it looks like a dog's ass. Take your razor, scratch off this, scratch off this, scratch off this, scratch off this. And I don't know if other shops have problems like I do with my shop, but I hate to say it on camera, but this was pushed over here as a finished product. So I probably went over quality control 50 times in meetings. And you know, same rules. After you polish, clean it off, look over it, make sure everything's right. Do not push it to the finished area until it's finished and everything's right. Because what happens is, well, at a normal shop, what would happen is the installers would go ahead and load this top onto their A-frame and take it to the job site. What happens at my shop is it gets pushed over here. I'm the installer, so I look over it. So most of the time, I see it, we have to stop, push it back over here, fix it, and then it puts me and Sammy being out all night because we're here working on it. When you got this, they filled some holes and pits, so you can just take this soft flex sandpaper pad with a piece of sandpaper, and just sand this off. And that'll keep you from having to go in and repolish everything. Anywhere you feel a little rough spot, you can go in there. And sand that off. So notice we got a little hole there also. The main thing is to not pass off stuff like this so somebody else can fix it. We've all got to take responsibility for our own work, and you know, if everybody at their station does their job, then when we go to load up jobs, we won't have, you know, hours of work quality controlling something that should have been quality controlled. So I'm glad we chose this top for this video because it really gives you a good idea of the importance of quality control. So for this top, which is over here ready to be loaded, we've got cut out for a bow. We've got a drill faucet hole. We've got the dog booty bump here that we need to fix. We've got a hole right here that was filled with epoxy, but if you look, it looks like not enough hardener was put in there because the damn epoxy's wet on my finger. So that's never going to dry and stay good. And then we need to finish cleaning the top and look over it, but I can't go really deep into cleaning this top because I've got to cut out a bow and I've got to drill a faucet hole and I've got to repolish the backside of the sink. So, but if we do that, that's going to prevent us from having to do it in the morning. The idea at any shop, I would think, was to be a week ahead of the game. That way this can all be done a week ahead and not the day of the job. But it's hard to get there when you have minimum help. So, and we've been real busy, so I'm not going to be too hard on my people for this. But we just got to do our best to do the job. And quality control should be #1 priority of any granite shop. We've always been a quality over quantity shop. I never, ever, ever yell at my guys for speed or taking too long, and I never will. I just, as long as they do it right, I don't care how long it takes them. But quality control is very important, guys, and every piece has got to be done. So that's kind of the process we use. Now this one will be put back into the FABS shop to be fixed. Then it'll be pushed back over here for somebody else to quality control again. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. What's up, guys? We touched base on a Luna Pearl top quality control. So we've moved on to another top today. I've got 3 installs going out Monday, so these are all part of those. So they have to be good. I'm gonna have a long day as it is, so I can't take out bad material and fix it on site, which is what happens a lot. So, well, my wife Melissa has been going through quality control and tops. I came up here from the saw and did one, and that was the other video. So we're looking at this one. It's dark quartz, which is a pain in the butt to polish. I just can't seem to find pads that work real good on it. But if you look right here on this edge, from here back, it's very, very white and dull. So from there, from here back needs to be repolished. All right. So you come on around here. If you look at this side here, from here back has to be repolished. The inside radius doesn't look too great at all. You got chatter marks here. If you put your square on it right here, it's very bad out of square there. Now this was a really hard top to work with, really hard to polish, but if you look at the inside of the sink, you got a big spot here, which David had already pointed that out to me this morning. He wasn't trying to pass that by on anybody or anything like that. So just a number of issues. And quality is my number one thing here. Everybody knows it. But I've still got people, regular customers, builders, everybody. It's like, can't you get the jobs done any faster? Can't you get the jobs done any faster? Why is your lead time so long? Well, it's because we go through and we quality control everything, and if it isn't done right, we put it back in the shop and we redo it. We don't rush through and push stuff out the door that shouldn't be going out the door. Some places will do that. Some places got all the help in the world and, you know, have a magic bean that they don't have any bad product that has to be redone, but I've yet to find those people. I've got good people who are learning, but it takes time. It takes time to get perfect. So like I said, we're a quality over quantity shop, and we'll keep pushing these jobs back in the shop and redoing them until they're right. And you know, until we get it down, we'll just, you know, have a little bit longer lead time. I'd much rather a customer be mad at me because it took me a little longer to get their job out to their house, but when it was out there, it was right and it was perfect. Rather than have a customer be upset at me because I got their job to their house in a week and a half, but when they went and looked at it, they wish they'd went somewhere else because the quality's just trash. That's not how I roll. So just quality control is very important. Make sure your guys are taking their time and doing the tops right. I don't care if they stay on the top all day long, as when they're done, it's right. So just, you know, when your shop tells you their lead time, and you know their background is high quality jobs, just, you know, try to be a little understanding that they're not making those long lead times just because they want to be buttholes or because they're on their couch eating sandwiches and drinking sodas. They're out here busting their butt redoing the top so that you'll have the best possible product you can have. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.